Hey everyone, it's Karla from the Medicine Hat Public Library again. I'm here with another STEAM Saturday for you. Once again, STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Mathematics. It's just a bunch of fun different concepts we get to do projects and experiments and crafts around. Today we are going to be looking at the chemistry behind chocolate chip cookies. I am going to read you the definition of chemistry really quickly. Chemistry is a science that deals with the identification of the substances of which matter is composed, the investigation of their properties and the way they interact, combine, and change, and the use of these processes to form new substances. So that's exactly what baking is. It's taking a bunch of different ingredients and seeing how they interact to combine a new substance. So we take a bunch of different ingredients that equal out to be cookies in the end. And each ingredient has a very specific purpose. And when they're all combined, that's when those kind of chemical reactions happen to combine and make a cookie. So butter is essential for the flavor and the texture of your cookie. Butter is made of fat and water, and when the butter is melted, the water molecules evaporate or are absorbed by some of the other ingredients. Brown sugar adds a toffee flavor and a chewy texture. And granulated white sugar makes cookies sweet. And the sugar binds with those water molecules from the butter to keep the cookies moist. Eggs are a protein that adds structure and moisture to your cookies. And when heated, eggs go from a liquid state to a solid state, and this helps the cookies stay together. Vanilla adds warmth and balances the complexity to the flavor. Baking soda is the traditional chemical leavener in cookies. Sometimes baking powder is also added for this. My recipe just has baking soda. Flour contributes protein and structure to the cookies. It absorbs the water and glues the fat from the butter with the eggs and the sugar together. Salt enhances sweetness and reduces bitterness. And of course, chocolate, depending on the size, the shape, the percent of cocoa in it, determines how chocolatey your final cookie will be. That's just kind of in there as a fun thing for flavor. So to get started, I am going to read off the recipe I'm following. This recipe I got from my mom. I don't know where it originally comes from, but it's the one that I know how to make. And for it, you will need 1 cup of margarine, 3/4 cups of brown sugar, 3/4 cups of white sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla, a 1/2 teaspoon of water, 2 eggs, 2 1/4 cups flour, 1 teaspoon baking soda, and 1 teaspoon salt. And you're going to cook these at 350 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes. All right, let's get started. All right, so in our first big bowl, we are going to start by adding our wet ingredients, and that includes 1 cup of margarine, it also includes 3/4 cup of brown sugar, and then 3/4 cups of white sugar. You're also going to add a teaspoon of vanilla and a 1/2 teaspoon of water. You're also going to need to add 2 eggs to this mixture. All right, and now I'm going to use my electric mixer to cream this all together. All right, now we're going to put that off to the side, and in another bowl, we are going to add our dry ingredients. And for our dry ingredients, we need 2 1/4 cups of flour, all right, and then we're going to add a teaspoon of baking soda, and we're also going to add a teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to whisk these ingredients together. All right, now I'm gonna mix my dry ingredients into my wet ingredients, and I'm going to do this just a little bit at a time. All right, now that everything's combined, I'm gonna fold in 1 cup of chocolate chips. All right, now our dough is ready and we can form little balls and put them on a baking sheet. For this next part, I use my hands and just make a little ball and put them down on the baking sheet. Before you do this, do make sure that you give your hands a good wash so they are nice and clean. You also want to make sure that you're giving some space between them so that as they grow, that they have a little bit of room. All right, now they are ready to go in the oven for 10 to 12 minutes. All right guys, all of our cookies are done baking. They're all cooling behind me here, and this recipe ended up making about 42 cookies. If you decided to make cookies too, make sure you take a picture and tag us at MHPublicLibrary on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram so we can see. If you decided to experiment with your recipe a little bit, if you chilled your dough, let us know what you did, how your cookies turned out. Also, let us know what your favorite type of cookies are. If you want to find more fun videos, check out our YouTube page at MHPublicLibrary. Thanks for joining me today. Bye.